Episode number 25 with Ginga Force. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cheers. Yeah, we gotta
Woo.
get the background cheers
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Woo.
Thank you, Frenetic. Thank you. It's a good, yeah, little cheerleading squad back there.
I got my pom poms out. You know.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, so Ginga Force by Qte's second game after Eschatos in 2011. Fantastic game, and they wanted to do more of like a consoleized shmup, basically, on the Xbox 360, and they released Ginga Force. Eschatos was a little bit more, definitely a bit more arcadey than Ginga Force, but Ginga Force just has a lot to offer. And this week, we will be checking out a world record replay with on Score Attack Hard Mode with the ship Type B, and that's going to be by Pestro87. And in fact, we got a first time on STG Weekly. We got a first time world record player commenting on his own run. It's fucking crazy.
Woo.
Pestro may possibly know the
Yeah.
most about Ginga Force in the whole world. Um, the knowledge might be too much to handle. So, but yeah, thank you, Pestro. Yeah, he'll be joining us. Thank you for coming on the show
Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll try my best.
about this goodness. And
Wow.
yeah, also being joined by Radical, who was joined on the Eschatos episode. He's coming back because you can't get away from that Qt love, right?
Can't get away from QT, man. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, so yeah, just a little bit more about Ginga Force. I want to get into the replay pretty quickly just because it's a long game. Ginga Force is vertical shmup, which is kind of turning out to be somewhat of a trend in shooting games that have been released recently. Caladrius is also vertical, where it's a widescreen definition, but the scrolling the orientation is in fact vertical, but they use the widescreen mode to kind of like put some stuff on the left and right, and kind of really stylize the shmup, and it's kind of interesting. So yeah, it's a vertical 10 stages. It's got a story mode in which you customize. It's centralized around purchasing equipment that you earn CR throughout the stages, or money basically to buy equipment. You go through the stages, you use different weapons and stuff. It's super fun. And then there's a score attack mode, which you unlock by playing the story mode. And I firmly believe, and I think many people who have played Ginga Force also they agree that the game really shines in the score attack mode. It's specifically hard in the hard mode because there's more items and stuff like that, and more bullets and stuff. So
It's hard.
It's really difficult.
and yeah, so where was I going with that? So yeah, in score attack mode. Now I'm just gonna talk about just a very brief kind of mechanics of the game. So in the story mode, you customize your ship with the various equipment that you buy. Like, you start out really crappy in the beginning, but you buy the equipment as you go along. However, in the score attack mode, there's three default configuration ships, similar to like an arcade shmup or something like that, where you have three different types of ships. And the three different types that the game gives you they're pretty much based around a special power that the ships have. Whereas Type A will have a shield, which kind of you turn it on and it absorbs bullets, and you can like run into an object and it'll save your ass, and it uses a lot of the meter. Then the Type B, which is the from the replay we're checking out here, is, I guess you call it the bomb type. You charge it up, the special, and it like launches this. The more you charge it up, the bigger of this like bomb it makes, and when like bullets go into it, it gets bigger and bigger. I actually think the special of Type B is probably the most unique thing about Ginga Force. I've never really seen a mechanic just like this bomb power before. So it's kind of cool that I think we're checking out this Type B replay. And then the Type C, the special power-up, is a time slowdown. And yeah, so these special power-ups, they use a regenerating gauge in the game. So aside from the special power-ups, the ships have a main shot and a sub shot, and so the main shot it will decrease in power after time elapses, and the sub shot is it's expendable energy. So when you use your sub shot, it will use it up, and when you kill enemies, you can refill both of those gauges, and when you die, it refills completely as well. And we're actually going to be, I assume we're going to be seeing some intentional deaths in this replay to refill the gauge. I don't know, maybe not. But,
yeah, quite a bit of intentional deaths actually, but not to refill the gauge though, just to maximize the bullet cancels.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, Pesto said there's a lot of things going on in the score tech mode, so it's gonna be really interesting to see just what's going on. It's got pretty it's a weird scoring system. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think we'll kind of go into it. And once we get the replay started, because yeah, we're dealing with an hour and a half game here. It's it's weird. Like I guess I should just say just very little about it. Is that like you kind of you kill enemies and the CR, these CR items come out. They can be either bronze, platinum, or golden. And when you destroy them, and then the CR is on the screen. When you destroy more enemies, when the medals are on the screen, the medal values increase, and it's like you just kind of like kill a lot of stuff, and the medals get big, and it's cool. So that's basically all I'm gonna say about it there. But we'll probably get a feel for it as we go on through the replay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add quickly though. Yeah, and for every 1,000 credits of CR that you've accumulated, a multiplier increases, and that is crucial to scoring. So you want to get as much CR as you can during the stages, and yeah, you also see the difficult part is basically maintaining a chain, like keeping the value of the CR high and maintaining a value chain throughout the stages, which you will see. So yeah.
Great. So I mean that's pretty much the basic mechanics that we're dealing with there. The shot and the sub shot are both they're both separate buttons as well in the game, as well as the shield. So you have it's pretty much a three button game. I suppose we should probably go into the replay now before I talk too much longer. Ginga Force is awesome, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Woo.
Yeah,
And Ginga translates to buy today.
What is that, Bido?
No, Ginga translates to buy today.
Buy today?
Bye today.
Oh,
Bye
God.
today, Force.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay, we got the jokes in there. All right, good shit. All right, so we'll do a countdown then. 3, 2, 1, click, and we shall get this replay underway of the Type B world record in Xbox 360 Score Attack Hard Mode. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay, so basically on this first part, I'm trying to destroy all of these UFO enemies that you see here as much as I can, because they all create a ring of suicide bullets. So when I destroy the engine on that enemy, they will cancel into bronze CR, and then use that to chain, to get a value chain going and get gold. And as you saw there, I was actually aiming for the enemies in the far back, because they will all create a ring of suicide bullets, and then use that to get a platinum chain going as the bullets were cancelled when I destroyed the last enemy of the wave. And throughout this part, I'm basically just trying to get a value chain going. So I'm letting I'm staying way far back on the screen so that this year will have a longer distance to fall, basically. So they will be it will be easier to keep a chain going, pretty much. And let's see here. And this section is actually quite difficult to keep a value chain going. I'm trying to destroy these enemies when they're like on their way back, so that by that time the CR will be dropped at a late point, and that way I was able to get the platinum CR from that turret on top of the truck there. And also, as you see, there's these enemies that have shields, so I'm basically just spamming the charge bomb a lot to just break my way through their barrier pretty much and destroy them as fast as I can. This section is the first timed event that you will encounter in the game, and what it means is that you'll see there's a timer on the upper left corner, and basically what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to destroy the right arm of that enemy before the timer reaches down to 0. But what I'm doing right here is that I'm just milking popcorn enemies for as long as I can, just to get some extra scoring while the timer's clocking down. And that's actually quite tricky to do because these enemies, like the way that they appear is actually randomized. And moreover, since each one of those enemies creates a ring of suicide bullets, it's pretty, like, you can't really predict the bullet patterns. So it's quite tricky to pull it off.
The game gets very
without dying.
hectic at times for sure, and this is definitely one spot where it
Yeah.
does.
Now, would you say the milking here outweighs the time bonus that you get at the end?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I milk all of these sections. Actually, I milk pretty much every single timed event section in the game for popcorn enemies, because as long as the multiplier is not down to 0, there's no point in going for the time bonus at the end. Because it far outweighs the time bonus. So yeah, as you saw, I died right there, but the thing is, the gold CR wasn't too far off from the screen, so as I came back to life, I was still able to capture all of that CR.
Oh, really? So since they were off of the screen, you still got them, though?
Yeah, because they weren't too far off. Actually, I remember
Oh.
that specific time, I actually paused the game. I was about to restart, and I thought, you know what, I'll wait. Maybe I'll be able to get it anyway, because it wasn't too far off from the screen, and yeah, I was able to get it.
Okay, yeah. I always kind of wondered about that, because it's like sometimes you do die, and then you see those medals fall off the screen, and you're like, oh, maybe I don't think I got them, but yeah, that's good. Really good to know.
Yeah. And yeah, that was actually a sloppy death right there. Usually, I should probably say this right now, you get plenty of extents in this game, and there's no really penalty for dying in this game, or it is there, but it's very low, especially if you're playing on hard, because like, it has such a minimum impact on your overall score. It's much more. Yeah, it's much more important if you're playing on easy and normal to play for survival, but on hard, just forget about it. Like, it's a lot better to use the lives as a resource to suicide, to get larger cancels and whatnot, or milk popcorns, stuff like that. So yeah, you'll see me die quite a bit, and not all of the deaths are intentional.
If I recall, the bonus for dying for no missing is only like 500k. So
it's very small.
Yeah.
It's like they're really trying to tell you to use the lives for pretty much scoring.
Or don't rage quit. You know.
Yeah.
Don't rage quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I die at a critical scoring point, I don't restart. So yeah, this is the first boss. As you'll see, the boss has 2 arms, and if you destroy one of the arms, well, each one of the arms will bullet cancel when you destroy them. But you'll see me that I suicide right here, so that I can maximize this cancel right there. And that gave me a ×6 multiplier. And right now, this pattern is actually pretty easy to dodge. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to milk popcorns for as long as I can. Because my multiplier is at its peak for this stage. Like at this point, I can't get a higher multiplier. So I'm just milking some popcorns here. And that's also one thing I just want to say quickly. The extents in this game is based on the score that you have. And it actually, I'm not sure about this, but I think it varies from stage to stage. So on certain stages you get extents like on after one score, and it may differ from the next stage. So yeah, it totally depends. But you see this pattern when you choose like a spread of a 3-way spread. That's when you want to destroy the left arm, because that's the point where there's the largest amount of bullets on the screen on this boss.
Right.
So yeah, I actually destroyed this arm a bit too early.
Yeah.
And usually I should wait until there's like 40 seconds or so left and then destroy it. So as a result, I milked some popcorn during the last phase of the boss, which is the most difficult one. Here, you'll see that I did some damage to him until like all the way down to like 2% or something, and then finished him off when he shoot the most amount of bullets. And you'll see that occurring a lot in this game. Like, I'll try to weaken certain parts on the enemies, and then or on the bosses rather, and then kill them when there's the peak of bullets on the screen to get, you know, the larger cancels. So
and that's like your primary like source of scoring is those bullet cancels.
It's partly
in this game.
Yeah, partly that, because partly that, and partly also destroying all of the parts on the bosses is vital to scoring. Like, you absolutely have to do that if you're playing for score. That's because on the bosses, like that's usually like more than 50% of your score on the stages.
Is
So
it just a base point value that the parts give, or is it because they cancel bullets usually?
no, it's because of it's because of the point that you get from the parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say that most of the game is just building up that multiplier, then cashing in on the bosses.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Alright,
also,
now,
yeah.
No, you continue.
No, I just want to say also getting a multiplier early on in the stages is also very good because that means that you'll be able to get higher points throughout the entire stage as well. So
It all kind of builds up to a
Yeah.
good score.
Alright, so now we're on stage 2, which is what I like to call like Metal Gear Shmup. Because there's actually some stealth elements in this stage. And this stage is actually pretty tough, especially with Type B, because there's a lot of shit going around here, and you can't kill it all quickly. With Type C, you can kill all this stuff really quickly. But yeah, basically, so what's going on right now is he's trying to avoid the red, like, spotlights from those things coming up. If he gets hit by one of those, these missiles will come out, and they'll like lock onto him, and it'll get pretty hectic for him. So he wants to try and avoid those. And I also think you don't want to kill them fully, you just want to turn them white, right?
that's correct. As soon as you turn them white, they shine on the boss in the background, and the boss will start dropping CR. But if you destroy them, you will damage the boss, but it will stop dropping CR. So you want to flip them, but don't destroy them.
Okay. So basically, he's just doing that.
Yeah.
He's just trying to flip them, get that CR going.
Yeah, and here's also another timed event. As you see, the timer is clocking down, so I don't want to flip them as soon as they appear. I want to milk some enemies as well, for as much as I can, basically.
Yeah, because like in the very background, there's those little guys that are just filling the screen with bullets, and it's like once you get some medals going, you can kind of like kill a bunch of them, and then you leave them lots of more medals.
Yes.
Yeah,
Lots of more.
lots of more.
Yeah. Here I'm actually. You'll see very soon that I will stop firing, and that's just to get a good cancel from this part. And then I suicide to get the last cancel. I think it's somewhere around here.
This cancel's huge.
Yeah.
If you get this right, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, suicide there, use the invincibility to get the cancel.
And then you get all the bullets, and then you get all the platinums.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, that's like one multiplier by itself.
Now here's one trick I thought was really cool. I actually never thought of this. What he's doing is like there's these spotlights in the background that if you get caught by them, they'll like unload these like homing enemies, but they also cancel the bullets. So while canceling the bullets, he's getting all the stars. He's getting all the coins.
Oh wow, the getting detected cancels bullets.
Yeah,
Oh dang, man.
that's actually pretty creative. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't thought of it either until I accidentally got caught and I realized, oh shit, it cancels the bullets.
Yeah. I was always too worried about getting caught, and then I wouldn't get caught. So I guess I was fucking myself over there.
Yeah, to be honest, those spotlights are hard as hell to dodge.
Yeah.
Like I know you get like an achievement for like dodging all of them, but like, oof, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, initially you would want to, like, you'll notice as you destroy the enemies that it's quite easy to get a gold chain going, but yeah, it's much more profitable to get caught by the spotlights.
That's a really nice little tactic there.
Yeah,
Alright, so this section, yeah, you go.
No, I just want to say this section is actually randomized, like the position of the spotlights, which can be quite tricky when you're playing for score. So, yeah, because like as you see, this spotlight shines on the boss like in the previous section, but sometimes they align like in a row, and if they do that, you can get actually platinum from the boss. But if you're unlucky, like I was here, you know, they won't align in a row, and you'll only be able to get gold. So, yeah.
Here we got the second boss, and I wanted to mention something here. This boss is very similar to the Stage 10 boss, which we'll see later, but I was wondering, is there anything story related to that? I know you did like the translations for that, for the game.
Yeah, it is actually. It's the same type of ship. I think this is like the test version, yeah, I think this is the test version, and the final boss uses the prototype version, something like that. But it is essentially the same ship type, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So basically, you see that boss has a lot of parts to destroy. So he's gonna really cash in on this boss. And I forget which ones cancel bullets. Is it the side parts?
Yeah, the side parts cancels bullets. Also, the part in the middle cancels bullets, but it's really tricky to get that part without destroying the core.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the brown tubes on the sides. Each one of those tubes will shoot out bullets during the second phase. So you want to destroy as many of those as you can during this stage, just to make the second part a bit easier.
Yeah. See. So you see that you got like 400k from that, 800k from the little pipes in the middle. He's really cashing it now. He's probably gonna get. I'd say you get like most of your score from this boss right here in this stage.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you're. I got really lucky there. Just
Yeah.
actually, that was actually a mistake. I was going to ram in directly into the bullets.
Ooh, damn.
That's a nice cancel.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing I just want to mention quickly right now, is that if you charge up your charge bomb to like 40% or something, and you get hit by a bullet, it will actually add as a shield, so you won't die. And that's quite useful sometimes. I tried to use it in the previous section to be able to ram right into the bullets and use that as a shield to get right underneath the wing and cancel all the bullets on the screen. But I just flew right through the bullets and wasn't able to get the cancel because of that.
Yeah.
So, but
It's really amazing how many bullets like these bosses throw at you in the hard mode.
Yeah.
It's hard to get over, but then you remember, oh yeah, I had like 20 lives in this stage.
you can burn through those lives pretty quickly.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's just. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's really exhilarating also when you're down to your last life.
Yeah, I bet.
Bosses.
I guess all the extra lives make up for the lack of bombs that are in this game.
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, you still have the shields, but sometimes that's not enough.
Yeah, like most of the time. Yeah, so stage 3, the main thing I'm trying to do here is just build up a chain quickly, but I'm also charging up the charge bomb here, because this is a large scoring potential right here, as you'll see. I use the charge bomb to destroy as many of those missiles as I can, and that will increase the chain value pretty quickly, so I'll be able to get platinum by the end. And as you see, I already have a by 4 multiplier, which is quite a lot. During this section, this is also one of those timed events. As you see, the timer's clocking down. Basically, you want to destroy the missile at the front there. But I want to milk it for a little while, because when he shoots out those small missiles, each one of those small missiles will drop bronze CR. So I want to milk it for a little while so I can get some extra CR, basically. And you want to destroy it when either he's doing this 3 spread pattern, or when he's shooting out these missiles. Because if you do that, the cancel will be so big so that he will start dropping, or he will only drop platinum CR. So that's basically what I did there. Used the charge bomb to destroy all of them. And yeah, here's more of those enemies with a shield, and they're pretty annoying.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and the patterns are so dense also, it's really tough. This is actually the first mistake on this chapter here. I tried to dodge this. Also, these red enemies are randomized, so it's really tough to dodge. But I wanted to get through this pattern so I could use the charge bomb on these missiles that come in here. But I wasn't able to because I collided with one of the bullets. So I didn't get any platinum chips there, but whatever. And yeah, the red chip that you see there, that's actually the boss. And I tried to weaken the embrasures on the back of the boss as much as I can, but I don't want to destroy them at this point because the multiplier is pretty low compared to, at the end of the stage.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and here I just charge up a large charge bomb, ram right into all of these mass of missiles to increase the CR value as much as I can and get as many platinum CR chips as I can.
Yeah, the perspective has shifted a little bit. That's the Qt style there.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the strategies for this missile is about the same as the first one. So there's not much going on here. But you notice also when it shifts perspectives, there's like a cutscene, and you can't actually charge your charge bomb during that cutscene. Because preferably, actually right after this boss, it would be very profitable if you could charge your charge bomb here because after that you'll be greeted with just a wall of missiles. But yeah, you can't do that unfortunately. So you're not going to be able to score as much as you potentially would have if you could have charge bomb there.
Another annoying thing is that they can't, like, the charge bomb cancels as a cutscene plays. So like, you can charge up if you don't know beforehand, it just cancels on you, and you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, you pretty much need to memorize when the cutscenes appear.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, I agree. Yeah, let's see what else is there. Yeah, so now you're back fighting the boss again, and right now you're just before the boss fight. And if you destroy the embracers right here, they will each drop a platinum CR, whereas if you destroy them during the actual boss fight, they will only drop gold. So I try to destroy as many of those as I can, and each one of those large missiles will also drop platinum CR. So I'm just spamming the charge bomb to do as much damage as I can, as fast as I can, basically. During the actual boss fight, though, this is actually something I figured out pretty recently. If you if you destroy all of the embracers on the back of the boss, all of a sudden you will be swarmed by popcorn enemies from all sides, and that is not very useful if you're going for a clear. But if you're playing for score, it's super useful because you have a pretty high multiplier by this time, and you want to, the more enemies means the higher the score. So that's why you see I have a life stock of 10 lives, but I'm gonna burn through those very quickly. Also, this boss has a lot of parts to it, and what you want to do is you want to avoid doing any damage to the middle section, like the core, because there's so many parts to take out, and that yeah, you want to make sure that you get all those parts. The parts on the back, each one of them will drop an extend, and the same goes for the arms. However, if you destroy any of the arms, he will actually change his bullet patterns. They will become more difficult because he will start like wavering around, and the bullet patterns will be harder to predict. Yeah. But if you're going for a clear, it's actually, this boss is not too bad because the core is pretty easy to destroy. But if you're going for score, it's really tough boss, especially on type C, because you're completely vulnerable to all these bullets. So you need to do some super dodging here.
Gotta make use of that slow.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just burning through my lives quickly here. Just trying to get as many of those popcorn enemies as I can, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a shmup where you use as many lives like this. It's kind of crazy.
It is.
Like
it
normally.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you die once in regular shmups, it's bad. But here, it's just, you get used to it after a while. It becomes like
Yeah.
you'll see yourself dying more than you shoot bullets. Almost.
I really like how they put the emphasis on like score and score attack. I mean, you don't really need to you still need to survive, but it's not as big as a deal.
Yeah,
I guess.
I completely agree, actually. And I was a bit surprised that there's so much focus on, or it's sort of a, it's a much more profitable to suicide a lot, and I wasn't expecting to see that in this game, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that was beautiful, man. That boss battle was so sick.
Bad boss. Bad boss, man. Alright, so chapter 4 coming up. There actually isn't too much that goes on in this chapter. As far as scores, I think it's actually like the second lowest scoring chapter in this. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. The only thing though is that what you want to do is you want to weaken. He has like this enemy that you're fighting here. He has plenty of parts, like 5 parts, I think. And you want to weaken as many of those parts as you can during this phase, and then actually destroy them once your multiplier is a lot higher. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, just weaken all the as many of those parts as I can. But yeah, this chapter is pretty low scoring-wise, so that's also why I haven't put that much time into this chapter, and so this run is not the greatest. But one thing I just wanted to say though is that as soon as you let go of all of your shots, you'll notice that all of the CR will start moving towards you, and that is pretty useful. But at the same time, the moment that you actually use that, the value chain that you've built up will actually drop to 0. So you will be back from scratch, and but it's quite useful because sometimes you find yourself in situations where it's actually almost impossible to maintain your chain, or you might realize that there's so much CR that's otherwise gonna just fall off the screen, so it might be a better choice to drop your chain intentionally, and then to get all that CR and then rebuilding it from scratch. Let's see. What else was there? Something else I was gonna say.
This is Shinji Jose doing the music for this stage. This is the only stage he does. The soundtrack for this game is really good. Got a lot of top artists from Super Sweet, like Yosuke Yasoi, Shinji Jose. I don't know how to say his name. Probably pronounced like horribly wrong.
Jose.
That's got Jose.
Yeah, it's got like Super Sweep has like 7 like various composers, and like there's quite a variety of like who does which songs and whatnot. But Yosuke Yasu, he does most of it. But really fucking good soundtrack. I mean, it's unbelievable actually.
Very 80s, or very 90s, I should say.
90s electronic.
Like some of the songs by Ayako Saso, who's famous for Street Fighter EX series and a lot of old arcade games, including Rolling Thunder 2. Fucking great soundtrack back then. But it's like you can definitely tell it's like a love letter. Like the whole like composing team, because it's like a lot of these people that did arcade music back in the day. They're just shmup fans that are just like happy to see like these games being made again. So it's like it's really cool to see them all collaborate again on projects like these. And the soundtrack is really fucking good. Like, it's one of the best gaming soundtracks I've heard in definitely a while.
I know. I'm serious. Yeah, I would seriously say so.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing I also just want to say quickly though, regarding the charge bump, is that if you like, preferably what you would think is that you would like to build up a large charge bump and just shoot it at a ton of enemies, so that because that will kill a lot of enemies at the same time, and that will also increase the value quickly. But that's actually pretty dangerous to do, because once you've destroyed a lot of the enemies at the same time, or quickly I should say, there might be a gap in like the wave of enemies that are coming in, so it might be easier to drop the chain directly afterwards. So you need to be kind of careful when you actually do that. That's why I don't do it too often. I do it sometimes, but I don't do it all the time. Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
So this part is, I'd say, is like the only real multiplier building part in this game. When he destroys the boss here, he wants to destroy the boss here when he like all the bullets are on the screen, so he'll shoot the enemies in the back and get platinums. You'll see it right there. You also get some really crazy ass patterns in this part.
Yeah, those guys in the back give them the platinums.
I remember someone said these like rings of fire kind of resemble like something from Toho, and I don't know who, but
yeah, I'm actually milking this section for a little bit, but it's actually pretty difficult because, as you see, there's no timer here, so you don't know how long you can actually milk this part. But I just want to milk it for a little while because yeah, your multiplier is pretty high by this time, so yeah, just want to get some extra score in there.
And that milking does make a difference.
It does, yeah, because right now my multiplier is at my peak for this level, so it does make a difference, but it's not like super significant, but it's there definitely.
I see.
Yeah, this is actually one of the easier bosses in the game, like mostly because it doesn't have any parts, so it's just destroy it as fast as you can. And these patterns aren't too like, some of the patterns in this game are a bit like annoyingly randomized. Like, they're not completely random, of course, but they have like a certain definitely a random feel to them, like in certain sections. But this section is fairly static, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, so all throughout the game, there's like dialogue between the characters, kind of yelling at each other and stuff. You have it off in this replay, but it's actually kind of a nice. It gives a nice touch to the game if you have the voices at like kind of a lowerish volume. I like to listen to them at least.
yeah, I like them too, especially for stage 10.
Yeah, someone
Stage.
requested to hear the stage 10 yelling, but unfortunately, the voices are off. But we can just imitate it or whatever.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So on this section, you'll see that there are some turrets on the sides. If you destroy the base of the turrets, they will actually bullet cancel. But here, this is actually a trick I found out recently. If you suicide there and destroy the turret when it's, when that wave has already passed, you'll be able to get some platinum chips from the ones that are coming upwards. And there are actually more of those that are coming from the top than there are from the ones that are coming from the side. So you get a larger score if you do that. But it's very like, it's not significantly large, but it's there. So
Get a few more platinums, perhaps.
Yeah, and getting some extra platinums early on in the stage is definitely useful.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, okay.
And that's an intentional suicide just to get that cancel. I mean, you can get it without the suicide, but it's a lot easier, and you have so many lives anyway. Also, that's another thing. Like sometimes I prioritize suiciding just to make sure I get the cancels.
Well, it's like you got the lives. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see them as a resource, like I said previously. And here you're actually fighting the boss, but this is another timed event, so yeah. Well, basically, you can't use the charge bomb on him; it will just deflect. So basically, what I'm trying to do here is just milk some of these popcorn enemies on the sides, and then destroy these turrets for some cancels along the way, for a little while. It's a bit tricky to do actually, because as you shoot him, he moves to the side. So, and if he's on the side as the turrets, he will actually knock the turrets over.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
you want to like knock him over to the opposite side of where the turrets appear, and I actually do mess it up here.
That's pretty tricky, huh? Wow.
Yeah, and
it never really occurred to me.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit tricky, and yeah, as you saw, I messed it up there on the last turret, but it's not that big of a deal.
So there's like still improvements to be made, clearly here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why I'm still playing the game, also.
That's pretty amazing.
But as far as like improving though, like the most important thing is just getting another multiplier. If you get some extra CR and it doesn't increase the multiplier, it doesn't really add much to scoring.
Right.
So yeah, on some stages I make some mistakes, I drop some CR. But since the multiplier wouldn't have increased if I would have collected it, it's not going to be a major impact on the score, and it's very small improvements. But yeah, I mean there are definitely improvements to be made.
So here the section kind of shows off how the medaling works. Like, so it's like you should probably try to explain it again. Like, so is it like you get like smaller medals on the screen? And then when you destroy another enemy, like larger metal type appears, and then don't different enemies have different base?
Yes, that's correct.
Base metal status as well.
Yes, every single enemy has a minimum amount and the highest amount of the CR value.
Okay, so that's what I want to know there.
Yeah, and basically you just need to memorize, like for every single enemy, what's their minimum amount that they can drop and what's the maximum amount, because that's pretty crucial to maintaining a chain value going.
So then you can prioritize which enemies you want to like hold out on or destroy at certain times and stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, it seems a little cryptic when you're first figuring it out. Like you're not. I wasn't quite sure for a long time. Only until I played the hard mode did I really figure it out, because like so much shit was happening.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember also you were like one of the first ones to actually figure it out, Aquas, so that's pretty cool.
It really only made sense in the hard mode. Like in the easy and normal score attack, you really don't get a sense for it as much. Only in like stage 9 and maybe a few other parts.
Yeah, there's not a lot of bullets to cancel, so I mean...
Yeah. So you never, you'd see like the other medals, but...
Look at this part. Holy shit.
Oh, I love it. It actually slows down here, which is awesome.
Yeah, I actually
just Xbox 360.
Pretty much. Yeah, I didn't get that very last cancel there, but it's okay because at that point I had already destroyed all the trucks that were in front of it, so there wasn't that many bullets on the screen anyway. But yeah, that was a bit sloppy, to be honest. But the most important thing was getting a ×9 multiplier. Actually, on this boss, there is a trick that I figured out very recently. Actually, that has a huge impact on the score. Which I will, you'll see pretty soon here. It all comes down to timing. That's all. But you see the rare part on this boss. Basically, what you want to do is focus on doing as much damage as you can to that part on this section. and you'll see why soon. And also, I do actually milk this for a little while. I used the charge bomb to destroy these small rocks.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Just for some extra points, because I noticed that I had 3 extra lives in stock. So I do actually, I milked this for a little while. But also your charge bomb, he deflects the charge bomb if you shoot him when his drill is retracted. So you need to be careful with using that. Yeah, I think I die here. Just I used the charge bomb too early, so I didn't have enough to charge up last. Here, this is a very crucial scoring point. Actually, look at the score here. If you time this correctly, if you destroy that rear part now, I got more than 10 million points from that.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that is huge. And basically, what happens is that like he shoots out like a flood of rocks, and what you want to do is you want to destroy the rear part when he's shooting out that flood of rocks, because it will be like a snowball effect, and you will get just a shit ton of score.
I see. So it's better to do that than just like do it like during the rock chase part. This part right here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And
So,
also,
Wow.
yeah, also one thing to note is that during this rock section, if you're playing with a Type A or Type C ship, you can actually just create your own path through the rocks, and that will actually give you a lot more score. But with Type B, since the main shot is so slow, you can't do that, unfortunately. So you need to follow the path of the boss, which doesn't give you as higher score. So, but you know.
Damn. That was
that's the
pretty.
lame way too. Yeah, but that was really cool. A really cool trick.
Wow.
Yeah, I just found that out by accident. So,
I think
I
that's
guess
how most
I guess it helps to kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think that's how most tricks are found by accident.
It helps to watch your score, like how it's affected. And that's something I sometimes neglect when I'm like playing, and I don't ever like look at how my score is affected. So you're never quite sure how well you're cashing in at some points and stuff like that.
yeah, it was quite strange. I did just normal playthrough, and I had a pretty low multiplier, and I was like, oh man, this run is crap. But I played through the entire run, and then I realized like, wow, how did I get this high score? So I just went through the replay, analyzed it from start to finish, and yeah, so noticed that part, and yeah.
Right.
That's really cool. So stage 6 here, it's kind of like stage 4, I'd say, except the boss is a little bit more cashy.
Yeah.
Like you cashed it in more in the boss.
That's true. The main trick here, though, is to kill at least 1 or 2 of these popcorn enemies before you destroy these mech enemies, because the popcorn enemies will drop bronze,
Right.
and these mechs have a maximum amount of like they have the potential to drop platinum CR.
Right.
So you
I
want
see, yeah.
to kill at least a couple of popcorns to get platinum from the big ones, basically.
I think this stage was one that really showed me for the first time how the hell the scoring system was working. Because it's very clear, like, those enemies do have the platinums, but they only had the platinums if you were destroying the popcorns.
Right.
I was like, oh man, I want those platinums. They're so shiny and big.
Yeah. And this section actually, I actually kind of ignore scoring here. Because basically, if you're playing for score, what you would prefer is that to leave as many of those mechs on the screen as possible, and then just destroy them all at the same time. But unfortunately, each one of them shoots out so many bullets that I still haven't figured out how to how to dodge all these patterns. If you leave more than like 3 on the screen at the same time, that is.
Yeah.
Because the patterns get way out of hand. So that's why I actually ignore scoring completely on that particular section.
You're gonna need the lives for this boss coming up too.
Yes, especially if you're playing for score, because if you want to destroy, like, the more parts that you destroy on this boss, the difficult the patterns will get. So if you're playing for score, the last phase is just gonna be bullets on literally every inch of the screen, and you'll see that soon. But here I'm actually milking this section for a little while, because as you see, the timer's clocking down. Basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to push him off the edge of the shuttle. So I'm just milking popcorns for a little while until the timer clocks down to almost 0, and then push him off the edge. And of course, milking popcorns in this section, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's not that difficult either. Also, one thing I just want to say quickly though, you see these red blasts? They also deflect the charge bomb. So that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
that's why I generally use the charge bomb like on the front. Like as soon as he shoots out these blasts, I typically move to the front part of the screen because I don't want to have my charge bomb get deflected by one of those. Because that way you're completely vulnerable and you'll die if you get hit by something.
I also think those red missiles that he shoots out don't have a hitbox, so you can just go right through them, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
That's really cool. Yeah.
This
Now you
part
just-
in the story mode, when you're first playing, it gets kind of annoying because it's like I remember trying multiple times to push them off, and I was like fucking up because like you run out of power. Like you're actually running out of power here as well, like because there's just not enough enemies to replenish it that much. So you can't do a whole lot to push it off except for using your charge. And that's another thing. You're actually getting you actually charge the thingy when you don't have any charge meter. It still like rises up with a number by your ship. It's a nice little trick I noticed that you use.
Yeah, it's very slow though.
It's slow, yeah, but it still goes.
That's true. Also, if you do get struck by a bullet and the shield appear or the charge bomb explodes on where your ship is located, the entire like bar will actually deplete to 0, and it will take a longer time to recharge as opposed to if you would have just charged up the charge bomb and then release it. So it's yeah, there's definitely some downsides to using it, but yeah.
I see.
Yeah, this boss is really rad. It just gets so fucking crazy.
Yeah, especially if you destroy all these legs, it's gonna be out of control.
Wow, you're actually legitimately dodging that pattern. A tap dodge, goodness.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, once you've played through this boss a couple of times, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But in regards to the story mode, though, I just want to say that's one thing I really like about this game is that if you're just looking for a shooter that you want to grab a couple of beers when you get home from work and just kick back and play, story mode is fantastic because that's exactly what you're looking for in that case. But if you also want to play a highly competitive game, it also offers the score attack mode if you're looking for that. So it kind of caters to both sides, which is pretty cool.
I think
Yeah,
in
it's really
general,
nice.
it's just like a really fun game for a shooter.
Definitely, yeah. It's very intense, especially on hard. Super intense. Like, I noticed sometimes when I play games, I tend to zone out. But if you zone out, like, just for a fraction of a second in this game, you're screwed. Because most of the times I'm actually paying more attention to where the actual enemies are located and where the CR is being dropped than where the actual bullets are. Because maintaining
Right.
the value chain is quite difficult at times. So you need to pay, and especially since some of the enemies are actually randomized, you need to pay 100% attention to that. And that's also another reason why I tend to die quite a bit.
You get spoiled by the amount of lives, I think.
Yeah.
God, this boss is just like an epileptic nightmare.
It's like, oh, I died. Oh, fuck. Oh, I died again. Oh, fuck. Oh, I died. Oh, no, I'm running out.
Oh, yeah, this
yeah.
you go ahead.
I have to say, this boss is epic, yeah.
I was saying it's like an epileptic nightmare too. There's so much flash and shit going on. Like, look at that! Look at this part. Like, it's just nuts.
Yep.
And that's why it's the best. This is my favorite boss, I'd say.
This is a good
okay.
boss.
Cool.
What would you say your favorite boss is, Pestra?
I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. I agree. I don't know. Yeah, probably this one actually. It's good. I agree. It has also it's pretty dynamic as well, which I like. I like the fact that for each one of those. Yeah, this part is way out of hand. Like since I destroyed so many of those
bitch.
legs, this section is just
Jesus.
impossible.
Dude.
Actually, I like the stage 7 boss. I think that one's my favorite.
Oh, that one's great too. That one's great in story mode. Because you're kind of weak enough, so you get to see all the attacks it does.
Yeah, and it's really dynamic too. Like if you for each part that you destroy, he'll actually start moving differently, use different types of attacks. It's really cool, I think.
And she gave me so much fucking trouble in story mode.
Yeah, and speaking of stage 7, here we go. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to do is just charge up the charge bomb to take these guys out because they can only drop silver, I think. But this section, those enemies are actually randomized, like the way that they appear. So sometimes I can get a gold chain going by getting silver from the first wave of enemies and then, getting gold from them. But sometimes I don't get it because it's a bit randomized. Now, the ones in the middle here, they have the potential to drop platinum, so I want to destroy those on the sides first, so there's at least 1 gold on the screen before I destroy the turrets in the middle. And here you can see also there's a gap in between the waves, so it's impossible to keep a chain going here. So I just basically, try to get through that as best as I can.
Was this stage 6 or
7.
This is 7? Okay. All right.
Yeah. The stage of the orbital elevators. Yeah. So here there's not really much to say. This section is actually static. I'm basically building up a charge bomb and then waiting for when these red missiles are starting to appear, and then releasing the charge bomb to destroy them all at the same time, because there's so many of these red missiles that's coming in from the top that there's no risk in dropping the metal chain there. It's pretty and also there's a bit of a gap afterwards anyway, so yeah, you're gonna drop the chain probably. So you might as well get as many points as you can on that particular section. Yeah, and actually on that particular section right there, you saw that, that's when I used the trick when I let go of my shot, and it will actually get all of the CR, which breaks my chain. But the thing is, you were going to drop the chain anyway, or I was going to drop the chain anyway, so I just figured I might as well just get all the CR that's on the screen while I can. And for each one of those turrets that you destroy, each one of those turrets actually shoots out bullets. So the more of them that you destroy, the quicker, the easier it will be to get through this section. And the last turret will bullet cancel. So you see that there's these enemies that will appear from the sides that are shooting lasers. Basically, what I want to do is I want to destroy the last of these turrets while there's a couple of these lasers on the screen, because those lasers will be canceled into bronze PR. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, but it's a bit tricky because of the bullet patterns. It's quite tricky to do, but I think I get it here. Yeah, and that's also why I used.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
That's also, as you can see, I used my sub weapon there, because the sub weapon does so little damage, so that it's really easy to have control over how much damage you're doing to the enemies. That's why also I tend to use the option to damage enemies quite a bit, also to have control over, so I don't, I just want to weaken them, but I don't want to take them out at that particular point.
Right.
Yeah. And after this section there will be the second orbital elevator, and the strategy on that orbital elevator. Oh, actually, sorry, there's another section even before that. I forgot about that. Yeah, actually, that was another sloppy death, but it was okay because
oh man,
there was still some CR on the screen, so it wasn't too bad. But
background lasers gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I want to do here is I want to damage these turrets so that they're down to around 30 or 20%. And then as the orbital elevator starts rotating again, I can destroy them all at once, because that will create more CR on the screen, which will give me, it will increase the value of the CR by a lot, so that when the last one of them is destroyed, everything will be cancelled to platinum.
Oh wow, that's how you do it.
Yeah, which gives a large.
I always wondered how you do that correctly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's really good.
And the only thing I'm trying to do after that is just keep somewhat of a chain going, but I'm not doing too well. Yeah, so here basically I just want to destroy at least one of those on the sides, so that there will be 1 gold on the screen while I destroy the one in the middle. And this is the second most important scoring point in the game. This section you just need to memorize how to dodge and how to take all of these out, because as you can see, so many platinum if you do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you just need to practice basically. So now we're facing the stage 7 boss, and he has basically 2 phases. On the first phase, he doesn't have any parts, so you just want to make as much damage as you can.
It's a he, huh?
Well, actually, it's a she.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on now.
Yeah, those enemy images are so. It's hard to tell sometimes if it's a girl or a guy. But anyway, yeah, I basically just want to get through this section without worrying about destroying any parts. So yeah, and you'll see soon that because it's quite, since the boss is all the way at the bottom of the screen most of the time, this is the only part where you actually do damage to the boss. By shooting these blue
I love this.
blasts. Yeah, me too. By shooting these blue blasts, they drop down and they will do damage to the boss. So that's basically how it works. And that was actually a bit funny. I actually did that just to troll the boss a little bit. Actually, what I did, I charged up a charge bomb and just ran right into the boss to do a little bit more damage because, yeah, I just felt like doing it. And this section is really tricky actually because he shoots like a three-way spread, and then he shoots like, as you saw right there, he shoots like just one spread of bullets. That's a bit after the spread.
Yeah,
And
she's,
actually, yeah,
she's trolling you there.
yes, payback time.
Yeah, that one is odd indeed.
Yeah, so that sometimes that gets me. And this section I actually did pretty poorly on. As you can see, there were a ton of UFO enemies, and each one of them creates suicide bullets. Basically, what you want to do is you want to avoid destroying any of them, weaken the boss so that you're right before the cancel, and then destroy as many of those UFO enemies as you can to create as many suicide bullets as you can, and then time the time to cancel basically. So you destroy the boss when there's so many suicide bullets on the screen. But and I was so close to getting the cancel right there, but I didn't. You see, he's down to 57%, and the cancel is at 55. So I was a bit unlucky there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't get as big of a cancel as I would have liked. Yeah. And this next section though, this is a bit tricky. You want to destroy all of these parts. However, if what you want to do is you want to destroy the parts on the arms in the right order. If you destroy the like the shoulder, I guess you could say, of the arms, that will actually destroy the entire arm, which you don't want. You want to destroy first the hands, and then the base of the arm, and then the shoulders, because for a score. So you want to be very careful in which parts you're doing damage to. And that's why also I avoid shooting, like when he's when it's not so easy to target a specific part. I tend to generally just ignore doing any type of damage. During this phase, this is the phase where you want to destroy one of the parts, because you want to get this cancel right here, because that gives you a lot of bronze, basically. And yeah, I think after actually this is another section where it's pretty profitable to get a cancel because there's so many suicide bullets on the screen. So yeah, that section and the one before that, you preferably want to get the cancel. But I have to say though, this bullet pattern is really, really tough to dodge, and that's why I used, you know, I used to, I used to in the beginning try to dodge that, but after a while I just used the charge bomb to get through it because it's really challenging. But as you can see, the movement starts changing, and the bullet pattern starts to become more like sporadic. So that's something I really like about this boss. It's very dynamic. So yeah, basically here I just want to destroy these remaining parts in the right order. And that's basically all there is to it.
I think the thing with those suicide bullets is that they're aimed at, like, away from you, too, I think. If I remember correctly.
It is actually a ring of bullets that they shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there are some suicide bullets on normal as well, but they're not as bad as in hard. Also, I just want to
maybe
say,
it's normal, less angle. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I also want to say I didn't destroy the very core of the boss, and I still haven't figured out how to damage the core without destroying the actual boss. So yeah, that's a work in progress.
Damn.
So now stage 8.
Stage is pretty bonkers.
Yeah, this stage is nuts. Main thing here, there's these little ships on the side, like left and right. You just destroyed one. They'll cancel bullets. I don't think they cancel into stars, do they? I mean, not stars, coins.
Yeah,
you
it's
shoot
just
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just cancel them, which you're gonna need because there's a lot of bullets in this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, you just want to like build up your. It's essentially like every stage where you just want to build up your CR gate, like your CR gate or whatever you want to call it, for the end, because in the end you cash in.
Yeah. Actually, one thing that I could have done here is I could have destroyed the blue ship on the left there, because there's so many lasers on the screen that if you do that, each one of those enemies that are like coming in a circle pattern front of you. Each one of those will drop a platinum if you do that. So I actually missed that a little bit on that part. I have to say though, in general, this chapter, my run is pretty horrible. I have to say, actually, if you want to check out how you should actually play this chapter, I highly recommend you check out Erpo from the forums, or well, he's Finnish, so I guess maybe it's pronounced Erpo, I'm not sure. Anyway, his run on this chapter is really good. That's how you should actually play this chapter. Don't look at my replay.
Also, I want to clarify this. You've been saying run, but like on the leaderboards, you play each stage separately. Was this recording a full run, or was this all your best stages up to this point?
My best stages.
Okay, so do you tend to like wait till you revise like all your stages before you like upload another replay, or?
No. The only reason why I uploaded this was just for the show. I was only like I uploaded one replay like a way back, I think, when I first got #1 in the leaderboards, and I wasn't intending to upload anything more. I was just intending to keep playing the game. But
right.
yeah, as you know, you were going to do the show. I figured, hey, why don't I just upload my current score?
Cool.
But I don't have any plans actually on uploading anything more. You know, unless of course someone really wants me to.
Perhaps, oh man, yeah. Oh wow, you did really nice.
That's actually is crucial for scoring.
Yeah, the tricky thing is there is just not dying so that you can collect all those platinums.
Yes, and you want to time when you destroy those blue ships and keep the ones alive until there's so many bullets on the screen to get those cancels. Yeah. Also, another thing I just want to say quickly, since this is a vertical, like there's so much space on the screen, and sometimes you'll see there's so many enemies. It's impossible to destroy all of them. So sometimes what I want to do is I use the charge bomb to I release the charge bomb on one side of the screen, and then I position my ship on the other side of the screen to destroy as many of the enemies as I can. And that was what I did there with the large cancel that you saw a little back.
Good call.
Yeah, so here's the cash-in part, because this stage doesn't really have a boss. So instead of cashing in on the boss, you're going to cash in on these guys here.
Yep. Yeah, and these guys have also some arms that you can destroy through them, so you want to preferably destroy the arms before destroying the core.
Yeah, I think when you kill too, does the laser cancel into CR too?
Yeah, the lasers get cancelled as well when you destroy the core.
So yeah, you're just killing the arms and killing the core.
Yeah, that's also another thing, is that not every single laser in the game will cancel, just some of them. Or actually most of them. But there are some that doesn't cancel. Which you'll see especially during the training stages. It's important to memorize which ones cancel and which don't. Yeah, that's also another thing I just want to say quickly, is that this game has 10 chapters. After that there are 2 training stages. And those also add into your total score. So in this run, you will see a playthrough of all 10 chapters along with those training stages. Now, on these training stages, well, we'll get to those soon. I guess we could go into more detail about them, but it's a bit different the way it works with CR, because you're actually awarded for destroying the enemies quickly. Like that's how you get more CR, by destroying the waves of enemies as fast as you can.
Right.
But yeah, we'll get to that soon. Yeah, so now you're at the
stages.
Yeah, actually, I don't think that it's. I really don't think that it's possible to destroy all of the parts in all of these drills.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them, especially on this section. Like I use the charge bomb in the middle here to destroy as many of those arms as I can. Yeah, but it's really tough to destroy completely all of them. I don't think that it's possible, but you never know.
Maybe if you died at a good time.
Maybe the hardest boss in the game. Woo!
Yeah. Speed kill.
It sucks. This boss is really easy because that pattern looks like a lot of fun to dodge.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, this would be a cool boss if it was a bit, had a bit more life to it.
Yeah, double KO right there.
Okay, so we're approaching chapter 9 now. This is the this chapter has the largest scoring potential in the entire game.
Yep.
So you will if you're playing for score, you're gonna be replaying this chapter a lot.
Oh yeah.
And basically, on this first section here, I try to avoid destroying any of the embrasures and any of the missiles here, because you will be returned to this section later on in the chapter, and by that time you will have a lot higher multiplier. However, you will see me that I destroy these turrets on the side. That's because they actually regenerate, or they come back to life. So I milk those during a later section on the stage. But this is actually quite unique here. If you destroy the left engine, you will go the left route. If you destroy the middle engine, you'll go the middle route, and if you destroy the right engine, you'll go the right route. So you can actually choose in which order you want to go the different routes on this stage. And I go left, right, center, because on the center route you can milk those turrets, and by that time you have the largest multiplier. So that's why I go left, right, center.
I think it only matters as long as you go center last. I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but there is actually a slight nuance. There's actually one wave of enemies that only appears if you go left and then right. If you go right and then left, it doesn't appear. But I'll show you when
Really?
when the time comes. Yeah, so in this section, basically, typically you would want to destroy all these green missiles. But if you do, like each one of them will shoot out a blast of like one of those red blasts that will deflect your charge bomb. So you can't really spam, like you can't really kill them, or yeah, because that's pretty dangerous. So that's why I try to avoid destroying them. Here I'm actually I'm going to wait a good while before I destroy the turret completely. I'm basically trying to weaken it until there's a lot of these green enemies, and then when I will destroy it when it shoots out a beam, because that beam will be cancelled into golds, into bronze PR, and I'll be able to get platinum from the green.
Hi.
Yeah, I destroyed the base there while the upper beam was shooting out its laser. As you can see, I avoid destroying the top beam. You'll see soon later on, because you will be able to destroy that beam at the later section in the stage, and you'll be able to get a larger cancel. Getting this cancel on this boss is also, it's pretty crucial to scoring, so you want to practice that and get that cancel right. So yeah, what I'm trying to do here is also I try to get a good cancel, because you see that there are some green enemies that appears on the side. So basically I want to get the cancel, destroy those green enemies so I can get some platinum, basically. Yeah, and this section really gave me a hard time the first time I got to it. As you'll see, there are these lasers that are shooting very like sporadic directions, and on top of that will be these turret lasers that will be shooting lasers in really annoying patterns. So basically, but since these patterns are actually fixed, so you just need to memorize the way how to dodge this, basically. And once you've gotten it down, it's not too bad, but it's still, you know, it takes a bit of execution still.
Yeah, so like they go down and left and up, and like it's like whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is definitely tricky.
And yeah, on this section, basically, I want to optimize this cancel, so that's why I basically suicide until there's a lot of these green enemies on the screen, so that when I destroy the turret, I will be able to get platinum from each one of those green enemies. But as you can see, after a while, when new green enemies starts to appear, other ones start to disappear, because there's only a maximum amount of them that can be on the screen at the same time.
Oh.
So you want to, if you want to be really, really hardcore, what you want to do is you want to destroy all of those when there's a peak of green enemies, and you know that there's even more green enemies coming out, like just about to come out. That's basically what I tried to do, and I actually managed to get that on this particular run. But yeah.
So you mentioned a wave that only appears when you go left, right? Is this it right here?
Yeah, this is the one, yeah. And this also appears if you go, I forget which part, but this appears if you go some other way as well, which I don't remember right now. And that actually, what I tried to do there is I tried to use the charge bomb on the right side of the screen, then position my ship on the left side of the screen, because that way will destroy so many enemies that eventually they will start to drop platinum CR.
Yeah.
And this is one of those, as you saw, I left that turret before, this upper turret here. That's just so I can get a good cancel from this guy. And what I want to do here is cycle through these patterns. And actually, that was a pretty sloppy death. I thought that I had charged up the charge bomb enough, but I hadn't, so there you go. But I want to do a suicide, let's see, here, I think, yeah. So I can just absolutely make sure that I get that cancel, because that cancel is huge. It's a 1.5 multiplier by itself. It's enormous, so you absolutely want to get that cancel. Yeah.
So you need to do the same for again to cancel this out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
yeah, and that's definitely a perfect example of using your lives as a resource there.
Yep. And
that's perfect timing after the invulnerability period.
Yeah, and then I actually destroyed one of those green enemies while there was all that bronze on the screen, so that I could get another platinum, basically.
Very nice.
And yeah, and here it's just same as when I went to the left and the right route. I just waiting for a good cancel, and then I want to destroy these green enemies because each one of them will then drop platinum. And now we come to the big milking section of the stage. I will actually milk this section for like 2.5 cycles usually. Usually I try to milk these turrets until the timer's down to about 160 seconds or so, because I found that if I, that's about the ideal amount of time that I have left to complete the stage. And what you want to do is you want to leave 7 of these embrasures alive, because once you destroy the 7th embrasure, like once there's 7 left and you destroy the 7th, everything will cancel and it will move on to its second phase. So I'm basically just milking the first phase here, or milking the turrets during the first phase. And so you'll see that from like now on, I think, I'm just avoiding destroying any of these, the embrasures on the back of the boss there. Yeah, and I'm just basically milking those turrets.
Sweet.
Milking games.
And milking those turrets at this point in the stage is actually because it's quite tricky to pull off like what I did up until this point. So to have the nerves to do the milking here, it definitely requires some nerves. Sometimes I get shaky and I just die because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Basically.
So just to reiterate, you only want to leave 7 of them, so it doesn't go to that like other pattern that goes when you kill like 7 of them, like after you kill 7 of them. There's only 6 left, right?
Yes, exactly. Then the patterns gets pretty out of hand. So I basically want to milk it during this section.
Okay.
And now, and now for the last phase. And as you see, the patterns are a lot more difficult here. So
you get more points the other way too. So that's actually pretty cool.
That's true. That's true, because at this point there's only like 2 turrets shooting at the same time, whereas beforehand there were like 4 of them on each side.
That was a lot of points.
Yeah, and then here I'm just basically charging up a charge bomb, and I'm gonna release it in the dead center of those 2 turrets here, because there will be 8 of those respawning turrets on the sides, or maybe 10 of them, I'm not sure. No, actually 12. Anyway, yeah, so basically trying to destroy as many of them as I can. This pattern was, I thought it was going to be really tricky when I first saw it, but there's a safe spot right there.
Nice.
So, yeah, once I figured that out, I was like, wow, okay. Because I thought that pattern was just crazy to dodge, but no, it's really not once you figured out that safe spot. Yeah, basically I'm waiting for a good cancel here. As you could see, when those 2 bullets, those 2 turrets shoots out like the white bullets here, that's when the amount of bullets on the screen are at its peak. So that's when I want to get the cancel. And here I tried to speed heal the turret, but one of those popcorn enemies managed to get me. So I was messed up a little bit there. And basically I just want to take that out. That wasn't a very good cancel at all. I was actually getting a bit shaky. The nerves were catching up to me at that point. This section, yeah, I did actually, I got a decent cancel, but I messed up. I died right after. But this pattern is actually really easy to dodge if you manage to figure out how. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be in the center, and then tap dodge to the left once it's halfway through the pattern, and then start tap dodging to the right, and then just go left, right, and then you'll be able to dodge it perfectly. Yeah, so it's actually not too bad.
Now we got the final boss stage coming up.
Yeah, there's just so
ready?
many opportunities for getting the platinums in this stage that, like, you know, by the end, like, you can get so much more score if you've managed to do it at all up to that point. It's pretty crazy.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Viridian, the dude with the helmet over his eyes, he's going ape shit at this point. In the actual game, he just screams the whole time.
Basically, what you want to do is when he shoots those two laser beams, you want to be in between them. That's where it's safe to be. So either you want to be in between them, or you want to be way on the side. But basically, I'm just trying to cycle through these patterns for a little while, because as you saw, eventually he will the bullets will cancel, and you'll get some bronze. And also, the longer that you cycle through these patterns, the more intense he will start doing really intense bullet patterns, and that's when you want to get the cancels. And you will get the cancel when you destroy the core. I think it's down to like 55 or 60% or something like that, or when you destroy his arms. So you want to get those cancels like right. That's a pretty decent cancel, and then after a while he will start doing crazy patterns, and that's when you want to get. That's another good spot to get a cancel. But you'll see that pretty soon.
I think you essentially just want to get a 2x multiplier as soon as possible, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, basically, my aim on this stage is basically try to get a ×2 multiplier without destroying any of these parts in the center on the boss, and then start destroying those center parts. Because by that time you have 2 ×2 multipliers, so you get double the score. And at this point, he's starting to do some crazy stuff.
You're getting really mad.
Yeah, but yeah, I could have actually gotten a better cancel just before this, because at that point he was shooting a lot of bullets. But yeah, I got it a bit later, but it was okay. It was still a good cancel, and managed to get the ×2 multiplier here, so it wasn't too bad. Also, all of those parts that you see in the center on the boss, each one of them will drop and extend.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes ape shit. Look at this.
Oh, nice, actually. There's some dodge in there. Cool.
This is where he screams.
Ooda!
Yeah, these bullet patterns are not the easiest to dodge. But I'm just basically trying to cycle through them as much as I can without, risking not clearing the stage in time, because eventually the bullets cancel.
God, I love this fucking part.
Yeah.
This is just when the boss just goes absolutely apeshit. It's just so nuts.
Definitely.
It's so great. There's all those explosions. It's just oh my god. So now you're just trying to kill all the parts, right?
Yeah. But I still haven't figured out how to kill the very last part on the back there, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really tough to get that part. I don't know. One day maybe I'll get it.
So that's the main game.
Yep, now we're moving on to the training stages. And like I said previously, the way that it works is that you will play through a series of levels, and you will get CR based on how fast you get through each level. So basically you want to get through each level as fast as you can, but you also want to, because the last enemy that you destroy in one of those waves will cancel the bullets. So you want to, it's like a combination. You want to get through a level as fast as you can, but you also want to get through it at a point when there's a lot of bullets on the screen. And also because of that, I usually I try to destroy the enemies that doesn't shoot out a lot of bullets, or they may shoot out lasers that doesn't cancel. So I basically try to take those out first and leave the ones that are shooting out a lot of bullets, so I get the larger cancels. But because of that, I'm actually, you know, you're playing more risky. So yeah, if you're just going for a clear, you know, don't try this at home. And also, I don't get that much CR in the beginning, but later on you get a lot more CR on the stages based on how fast you complete them. So in the beginning it's not too bad if you're off by 1 second later, you know, compared to your personal best. It's not that big of a difference, but later on it's definitely gonna show. So also sometimes on the later levels on this training stage, the bullet patterns will be really intense, and because of that, like if you were to actually dodge all those patterns, you wouldn't be able to take out the enemies as quickly as if you were to suicide and then, you know, just spam your charge bomb to kill them, take them out quickly. So you'll see me actually suicide on later levels just to take out the waves quicker, and that way I'll get a lot more CR, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
You can see the amount of bonus CR you get after every little stage here.
Yep. And
it's actually quite a bit.
It is. It is. Also, you get an extend for every 5th level.
Oh, okay.
I always like to think these stages were just MKai messing around and like some shoot 'em up editor or whatever, and just like, oh, this pattern looks cool. Let's try this out, you know?
Yeah, who knows?
Put them together, just say, hey, this might be a cool game mode or something.
Yeah, this is also referred to the Judgment stages, which is kind of an homage to the Judgment Silver Sword and on the Eschatos collection, or you know, it's originally a WonderSwan game, but yeah, it's kind of an homage to that, I guess.
Yeah, it's just pretty cool. Like I can see by like the kind of the multiplier just building up. Like, no, you don't have to cancel. Well, you do cancel stuff, but it just builds up sort of normally.
Yeah.
Just by how fast you kill shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a shmup speedrun.
Yeah.
This cancel is actually pretty tough to pull off, like because you want to take out these guys on the sides first, and then take out the one in the middle. But the problem is that the middle guy, he shoots out so many bullets, so it's a bit tough to dodge that pattern properly.
Yeah, it gets more intense as you kill the shit on the side.
Right, and yeah, I took out the one in the middle because he shoots out like these flame rings, and they don't cancel, so that's why I took him out first. And let's see here. What else? Yeah, yeah. There's also these enemies that shoot out missiles, and the missiles don't cancel either. And like I said previously, there's also like some lasers don't cancel, and yeah, you'll see. Maybe it's not this one. Yeah, you know, it is this one. You see these blue lasers? They don't cancel. So I try to take them out first. Yeah.
That's pretty standard, right? You just kill everything as fast as you can.
Yep.
Yeah, these stages are pretty fun in general, and the other training stage as well.
I sort of like the other training stage a little bit better, because it's I like the music a bit better too. It kind of reminds me of like a Caravan sort of.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I heard MKai got inspiration from Image Fight, which is like, I can kind of see that with like the different weapons you get in like story mode and stuff. In Image Fight, you get like a lot of different weapons too. And so I thought that was a cool thing to mention. Like also in Image Fight, when you change, you can change speeds in that game, and when you do that, the back of your ship like can damage enemies, and in this game you actually get an achievement for doing that.
Oh,
yeah, interesting.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. You can actually change your speed of your ship in this game.
Yeah, I forgot about that too for some reason.
But I've never used that. Mainly because it's pretty cumbersome. Like once you, like at first it goes down and then it goes up. So sometimes I switch down, and I'm not sure if it's going upwards or downwards if I'm just switching constantly. So I don't use it at all. But I saw like there were some Japanese guys on the leaderboards that used it, and they were actually pretty skilled with that.
Would they use it in any scoring situations, or would they use it for surviving?
Yeah, they used it basically when there was a lot of dense bullet patterns. They were switching speeds constantly to get through them, or to make it easier to get through them, I guess.
I see. You took out the thing in the middle that shoots that annoying fucking shield thing.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah.
Like just basically there's this little wave of a shield and it knocks away your charge bomb too, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
That chases you. And
yeah, it's like a stalker.
Yeah.
Get a nice little cancel there.
X33, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, like, the way I see it is that it's okay if I die once in some of these levels, but if I die twice, it's pretty bad. But unfortunately, I do actually die twice in some of these stages. Like here, if you see, the guy has like 2% left, and I just
Yeah,
barely wasn't able to get that, so I was tap dodging a bit too quickly. And because of that, I'm this, when you're faced on this level with 0 lives in stock, it's pretty challenging. But thankfully, I was able to dodge that somewhat decently. So yeah. But once you reached about level 31 or so, and you have an extra life in stock, you're pretty much set. Yeah. So that's why I actually suicide on this section here. I destroyed the one on the right here, suicide. Then get up on the left section and take those out, because otherwise you have to wait for that laser in the center until you can get to the left section, which takes a while. So yeah,
pretty smart.
Just to optimize that section.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much the first training stage.
Woo!
Yep, that was pretty cool. And the final training stage, second training stage, what's it called again? Judgment
Dragon.
Oh, Judgment Dragon, okay.
Yeah, the first one is Judgment Tiger.
Okay. Tiger shorts, or I don't know.
Oh wow, you actually managed to kill that thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, actually timing that cancel, because here's one of those blue ships again, so, and when you destroy it, it cancels all the bullets, but to time the first cancel, that's pretty tricky actually. But basically what you want to do is you want to take out those ships at like right before the chapter start. Generally speaking, of course, it doesn't apply to every single wave, because some waves are different, but basically you want to take them out right before the wave starts, because that way the bullets will cancel. But what I usually try to do is I use my main weapon and my sub-weapon to weaken the ship, and then I charge up a charge bomb and let my options take out the last bit of health that the ship has, so I can shoot out the large charge bomb on the wave of enemies that are coming in, basically. But yeah, I have to say though, on this particular chapter, there's a guy in Japan, like Hakure no Miko is his Xbox Live name. Like his run with Type C on this chapter, I honestly don't think that it's possible to beat his score. It's just, it's really godlike.
Oh yeah?
like I put so many hours trying to beat, like I managed to beat his overall score, but I was not able to, like how many hours I put into it, I wasn't able to beat his score on this particular chapter.
Oh, wow.
Like he made a flawless run, like absolutely flawless. I'd love to see if someone is actually able to pull it off, but I gave up. And yeah, so basically when I started playing with Type B, I had a pretty good idea of what to do. So actually this run was one of my earlier attempts with Type B, because I played through this one so many times beforehand with Type C. Yeah, basically you want to take out these waves as quickly as you can, and this is another option where, or another instance where I use my options to take out the ship, and then use the charge bomb to take out the circular enemies.
Right.
Yeah, and same strategy here, I think. Oh, maybe not. Also, the Judgment Dragon that we're seeing right now, it has a mid-boss that appears here. And during this mid-boss, once you destroy him, like all the bullets will be cancelled. So you preferably want to destroy him, like not too quickly and not too soon either. You want to destroy him at this section, basically. Also, like if you use your charge bomb on him, like the charge bomb will be deflected. So you need to pay attention to that.
Seems like any cubed, like not cubed, spherical, spherical things just reflect charge bombs.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lame, but whatever.
Yeah. And basically for these waves, you pretty much just need to play through them over and over again until you've memorized where the safe spots are and like how you're supposed to take out each wave as efficiently as possible. Because that's another thing with Type B is that since you have you need to actually charge your charge bomb, it's a bit like you need to be a bit strategic. You need to plan ahead what you're supposed to do, basically. So yeah, you pretty much just need to play through this chapter over and over until you've memorized when to use your charge bomb and when to not use it and so on and so forth.
Like right there, you used it perfectly to for every other ship. That pattern is just terrible.
Yes, especially Type A, and yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Both with Type A and Type C, because you need to get in the center of the like the circle that it makes, and
like in here, you didn't even get to see it. Like basically, what it was just these like things that circle around shields, and it's just like horrible. It's annoying.
Yes. yeah.
That charge bomb just destroyed it all.
Gotta crack that candy shell. Get to the chocolate center.
Yeah, you pretty much need to memorize where the center is at before you start, before the level starts. Pretty much. Yeah, these enemies follow after you, so I just try to lure them and then kill them with a charge bomb, basically. Yeah, and yeah, I don't think there's much to say about this section though. Yeah, sloppy death there, but whatever. Also, on these training stages, you don't get any survival bonus at all. So, the only thing that matters is that you get through the chapters. Or the levels, sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love this song. It really reminds me of like a caravan song. If you like put it into like a caravan or something, it'd fit perfectly. Oh
Nice
shit.
bomb.
Damn.
That was a good ass bomb. Double.
Yeah, but this time, if you get to this section with more than one extra life in stock, you're pretty much set. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's the Xbox logo. Watch out.
Shit.
You gotta fight Xbox One.
Oh, there's Xbox in this. I really hope like more shmup developers go to Sony.
Yes.
Speaking of that, because now I think they got rid of the whole what do you call it? The whole like privacy thing.
Yeah.
So now anyone can make a game for Sony. But yeah, whatever. Ginga Force.
Yeah,
Ginga Force story, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be heartbroken if Ginga Force 2 is gonna be out on Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not. I'm assuming either it'll still be on the Xbox. Like I don't know. Maybe QT will make another game on the Xbox. Maybe in a couple of years. Like I mean, Eschatos was only a couple of years before this one. So, So yeah, Ginga Force is awesome. Great job on the replay there, Pestro.
Oh, thanks.
And, Ratikal for commentating on that as well. You guys did a good job, and there's a lot of stuff that I learned about the game. I might have to go back to it now and play a little bit more. But see, when I was playing it, like my main goal, like you have like a big like spreadsheet of all the missions, like completing them with like a time and score and stuff. And my mission was to fill out the thing completely. And so once I finally beat story mode hard in its entirety, beating the training stages and actually the story mode hard was the hardest thing to do. But once I did that, I took a break on the game. But
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like like Pestro, yeah, you've gone kind of above and beyond in this with the scoring system, but like I just had like a lot of fun like filling out the scorecard and like kind of playing all the different difficulties of the story mode because you have easy, normal, and hard, of course, and you go and like the stages kind of change slightly as you do that, and you unlock the score attack, so it's like you're always kind of going back and forth between this stage and this stage, and you get familiar with the stages by playing in story mode, and then it's like it makes sense because then you unlock the score attack, and it's like you kind of know the stages go a little bit, but then you realize, oh man, I'm playing score attack, and then things kind of change up a bit, and actually kind of figure out the CR and stuff. Whereas in the story mode, the CR, the whole like CR meddling chaining thing that we've kind of talked about, it doesn't really apply that much in story mode. I mean, you don't really see those moments of like a shitload of platinums in the story mode instead of the score attack, if I recall correctly. Whereas it's just like you're mostly just getting CR, you're mostly getting your money from like completing stages in the story mode. But whew, man, that was crazy. So yeah, Ginga Force is awesome. Of course, this was a pieced together run from Pestro, but there are some like kind of little cut scenes in the game that he did not include,
Yeah.
which are pretty interesting. Even though, if you don't know Japanese or don't speak it, you don't really know what's going on. But Pestro, I forgot to neglected to mention, also did a translation of pretty much everything in this game, which I'm gonna link to in the YouTube description. So yeah, Pestro did a really good job kind of hyping this up. But nice thing is too is even without translation, like a lot of people are worrying about kind of like the equipment and all the different equipment that you buy in story mode. There were kind of people are wondering like, oh, am I going to actually know what a lot of these things are doing? But Qt was really smart, and they had like what really helped me figure out what stuff did is they have like a little icon next to all the equipment, and it's like it's like an indicative icon of kind of what it does, and that really helped out a lot. So the language barrier is still like really nothing there. I mean, except for the story, which is actually pretty cool. Once you get a little grasp of the world and the setting that the game takes place in, it really is an amazing game that they put together. And I was talking to one of my friends. He was telling me, a game we're talking about like how like the game has like all this voice acting and stuff. Where like if like a game like this came out, like a shmup game like this came out, like back in the '90s or something, you had all this voice acting and the story and everything set up. Like it's basically like the perfect like anime shooter game. Like it's got an anime story. Like you kind of see even maybe like a Ginga Force anime or something coming out. Like that kind of was about the story of the game and that type of thing. So it's really got a really nice world set and everything set into it. So yeah, Ginga Force is awesome. Also, I should mention this only like a week ago, the double pack of Eschatos and Ginga Force is available for purchase, and that includes both the games. Of course, Eschatos also includes Judgment, Silver Sword, and Cardinal Sins, which were originally Wonder Swan games, but yeah, they released them as a double pack. It goes for like I think like what $80 or $70 or something, but it's going to be a better deal than just getting Ginga Force and Eschatos on their own. Maybe Ginga Force is going to get a individual price cut at some point, but right now the double pack's out. So if anybody doesn't have either of these games, I highly recommend you get them if you are a shmup fan, because these games are, I mean, they're made by, I mean, MK himself is kind of like, I kind of view him as like the shmup fan who made the games that he really wanted to, like he truly wanted to make and thought were fun. And it just really like there's something about it that really shines through in his games that is really it's really fun about them. I don't know what it is exactly, but they just got it, and Ginga Force has this definitely its unique flavor with the various things, and even MKai himself said, I think it was on the Twitter or something before the game was finally released, that they did try a lot of unique things as far as the shmup genre goes in this game. And you can kind of see that with kind of the vertical orientation. I know you're talking about sometimes with the Type B, laying that bomb on the right side of the screen and then being on the left side of the screen to take out the other enemies. And that's kind of plays into the scoring, into the scoring. And this, so it also supports the the vertical design. So there really is a lot that goes into designing a new shmup, and actually making some kind of fresh ideas in the scoring system. Ended up actually being pretty cool.
Definitely.
So
yeah, I don't know. It might be me, but I kind of think of this game as a perfect blend between a bullet hell, like a modern type of shooter, and like an old school shooter.
You definitely see that with like the bosses having all the different parts, destroying them, and then destroying them actually gets you the majority of your points. That kind of thing is definitely kind of sought after by, I think, old school shmup fans. Like they always like bosses where you can destroy parts and stuff, and there is something definitely cool about that as far as appealing to the traditional design senses.
Yeah, it's a great game for both like casual and I don't want to say hardcore, but yeah, hardcore gamers. Because like with story mode, like you can clear that and then you just you get your fix. Then like I guess the more hardcore players will go into score attack and like flesh out their scores there. So I mean, it's a great buy for just anyone who loves this genre.
Yeah, and you didn't really talk about, but the story mode, does have weapons that aren't featured in the score attack, and there's some really kooky ones, there's fun ones, and it's like you repeat the stages and you try different weapons, and it really is a lot of fun to just mess around, and yeah, like Pastor I mentioned earlier, maybe just like chill out, have a couple beers, and like play story mode, get some like new weapons, and just kind of enjoy the game for what it is. So because I mean. It's a bit less arcadey than Eschatos, but at the same time, like it really fulfills every aspect there, like the casual and the hardcore kind of thing. So, whew. And then Frenetic, are you with us right now, or his mic, I guess, kind of pooped out at some point? But okay, he's dead.
Oh.
Cool. That's not cool,
Rip.
but
Rip in peace, Frenetic.
yeah, rest in peace, Frenetic. It was the Udra that got him probably at the very end. So, but yeah. So any final thoughts or closing words about this? I don't know. Various things.
Yeah, just one thing I would like to add is that if you do pick up this game and you're playing through the story mode, I would just highly encourage anyone to just play the score attack on hard just a couple of times before moving on, if you're feeling actually going to move on to another game. Because actually, I had a lot of fun with the story mode, and I had a lot of fun playing score attack on normal.
Yeah.
But I felt like, this was a good game, but I think I'll move on to another game. Then I saw Erpo, he posted on the forums like, wow, man, score attack on hard is so much fun. So I figured, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll try, once or twice. And, ever since then, I was just hooked. So I highly encourage anyone to, before you move on to another game, if you like that, just try score attack on hard just a couple of times before actually moving on to another game.
Very worth mentioning. It's definitely where the game shines as far as the score attack goes. The other normal and easy mode really do not give it the proper justice that the hard mode does, and you really see that the hard mode is the proper way, because it's like you get all the lives, and you saw that the suiciding was very integral to the scoring, and getting all those bullet cancels, and oh man. It blows my mind that those actually like slow down in this game at some points. Like it doesn't really make any sense. I don't know. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe it's intentional, or I don't know what it is exactly, but it happens. Xbox 360 probably not as powerful as you think it is, even though the graphics look like Lego or something.
Yeah, I couldn't even go back to like easy or normal after playing hard. There's just not as much shit going on.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode. We did talk a little bit more lengthy at the end there, but this is gonna wrap it up. So yeah, I'm gonna have a Play Asia affiliate link for the double pack, by the way, if you want to pick up these games and support STG Weekly, on the YouTube description, as well as Pestro's translation of the game.
Yeah.
And, any other stuff like, hey, we got Frenetic back. He's alive.
Just in time.
Yay. Sorry, my mic was all wonky, but here I am. Better late than never.
True. All right, well, say goodbye, Frenetic.
Goodbye, everybody.